I've been looking forward to doing this video for a while now. Hey, what's going on everybody? Rick here, and this is my rickety life, and today I'm going to put together, season, and cook my first meal on my Blackstone Griddle. Actually, this is going to take a couple days because the seasoning alone takes a while to do, but there it is in the box, the Blackstone 36-inch griddle with hood and front accessory shelf. I'll leave a link to Blackstone in the description box, or it'll pop up on the shopping page. First thing I did was clear myself a workspace, and I'm gonna cut open the box and, you know, hey, put it together. It should be very easy to put together. I did watch a video that Blackstone did on how to put it together, so I'm not going to detail every step. Just if I see something or learn something quirky as I put it together, I'll share that with you. But otherwise, if you're putting together one, just check out the Blackstone video, which is linked in the description box. There it is. I already have a change of plans on how I was going to do this. I was going to cut open the box completely and then like lay it down here as my work surface, but that's a bad idea if there's a problem with it and I have to return it. So I think I'll just go find some towels or something. I just don't want to put it on the pavers here to scratch anything. So let me go get a towel and I'll be right back. Oh, hey, Winnie, come here. Come here, Winnie. Come here. But before I get that towel, let me introduce my assistant today, Winnie. She's going to be helping us out here on the... Hey, I'm trying to get you in frame. Stop coming at me. Stop coming at me, bro. She's going to be the assistant here at the Yellow Dog Ranch. Okay, towels are down for protection. Hey, look, one's Volcano Bay. Let's go ahead and get everything out of the box. I might need Nikki with one of these things. Okay, everything is unpacked. There is the body of the griddle. There is the actual griddle and the hood for the griddle. Over here, all the other stuff, which there's more stuff for this than the video I watched. So, you know what that means? This little, you know, manual with like how to put things together and how to operate it. Looks like I'm going to have to open this up sooner than I thought in order to put it together. But first, Nikki just got back with bagels, so this is a good stopping point for a bagel break. Jeff's Bagel Run in Claremont. Fantastic, phenomenal bagels. Now back to work. Alright, time to do a little more reading than I had anticipated. Step 1 is the wheels. I like that. Something simple to build our confidence. So when you put on the caster wheels, make sure they are locked, or you get to a situation where stuff is just spinning. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my assistant. What is she doing? Chewing up cardboard. So not a big deal, but I just installed the paper towel holder. I don't know if I want this on because when I put the cover over it, I just feel like the cover won't be as snug with this poking out. So I'm going to take this off and I'll consider putting this on later. It's just that with all the rain and the humidity here in Florida, I want to keep the griddle as protected as possible and have that cover on it as snug as possible. Let's check on Nikki. Hey, my project's going very well. How's yours going?
Pretty good.
Not questioning your paint decisions at all?
Yes, I'm always questioning my decisions.
She was a little worried that the white she's putting on over the white is not dramatic enough.
Or too yellow.
Or too yellow, okay. All right, back to my project, honey.
Okay.
We're not at the last step, but we are at the big step. I'm gonna need Nikki. This is where we set the actual griddle and the hood onto the base. Hun, whenever you're ready, I need your help to put the actual griddle on the base. Winnie, can you hold the camera and film this? No? Still on your break. Okay. Ta-da! It's on. Easy with two people. Winnie, did you catch that on video? No? Okay, I guess you're still on a break. Okay, we're down to the last thing that needs to be attached. The bottle opener. The reason why I chose this model. Let's put it on. So I was a hurdler in college, and there's this thing known as last hurdle syndrome. That's when you're running a great race, everything's going good, and then the last hurdle comes up, and that's when you mess up. I messed up putting on the bottle opener. I put it on upside down. So let's fix that right now, and we'll be done with this baby. And there we go, my friends. We're all done with the assembly. And there it is with the cover that came with it. But I also bought a separate cover that's just for the inside cooking griddle. So we'll try to be as protected as possible with this thing. So the next step is to season the griddle. But before we leave the assembly, I wanted to say, since we moved into the house, Nikki and I have been putting together a lot of things and reading a lot of different directions on how to put things together. Blackstone, their instructions, the best I've come across as far as clear, concise, easy to follow. It all makes sense. So kudos to Blackstone for having usable instructions. Now before I season the grill, I'm gonna go make a special purchase. Check this out. A 10-gallon propane tank, twice as big as a regular propane tank. Okay, I have finally found some time to season and condition my Blackstone, but before I do that, let me give you a tour of the Blackstone. Here it is. I will leave links for Blackstone in the description box, or I'll put links on the shopping page of the YouTube channel. I did decide to hang the paper towel dispenser for now. We'll see about that, if I keep it or not. We have some shelves here on each side of the griddle. We have a nice little tray here to keep your oils and your spices, whatever you need for your cooking. Utensil holder, that just slides on there. There's one on each side of the shelves. Plenty of spots to keep whatever you need to cook with. See, just like that. Also, a couple of magnets, some magnet spots. So there's one on that shelf, there's one down there, so that works out pretty well. Of course, I got the bottle opener on right now. And now let's take a look under the hood. This orange thing here is a little extra silicone protector mat that I bought. I'll leave a link to that in the description box as well, just for a little extra added protection. We'll see over time if I decide to keep using it or not. And now the star of the show, the Blackstone Omnivore Griddle Plate, a high efficiency structure. This should be really good for even heat distribution, a reliable cook in every corner. It has integrated wind guards. It's the industry's most advanced griddle plate technology, best in class thermal shock stability. And before I forget, because I did forget, that's your igniter. Here are the 4 burner controllers. There's 4 different zones on this griddle, and you can control the heat in each zone. And you know what I just found out? We're going to keep this paper towel holder up because it swivels. So it just turns like that. So you can tuck it out of the way, then you can close the shelf and make the wrap on the cover tighter. And now it's time for the first clean of the griddle. It's going to be soap and water. This will be the only time you ever use soap on your griddle, the very first clean. I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to use a little Dawn power wash and some water. And just a good cleaning all the way around the sides and everything. Okay, now that I have it washed and dried by hand, I'm going to turn on the burners and let it burn for like 10 to 15 minutes just to ensure we have no moisture left on the griddle. Okay, as the griddle is doing its thing for the next 10 or 15 minutes, this is the seasoning and conditioning concoction that Blackstone has come up with. We're going to season and condition it 4 times today. You want to do that at the beginning 4 times, and then, or 5, 4 or 5, whatever you feel like there. More is better than less, not like 1 or 2 times, but at least 4 times, I would say, to season at the beginning. And then probably from what I've seen on the internet, about once a month, you're going to want to apply this again and kind of re-season. From what I've seen on the internet, you do not want to use an animal fat like bacon for your very first seasonings. Use this specially made seasoning concoction by Blackstone. Once you get it seasoned for, like, you know, like I said, 4 or 5 times, then you can cook whatever you want on it. But a lot of people, including me, when I first think of seasoning the griddle, I thought of bacon. That is the wrong thought. Use this stuff first, and then once you have those polymers, oh yeah, that's right, the polymers connected or adhered to your griddle, then you can cook whatever you want. I'll go over how to use this seasoning in just a moment. Okay, it's time for the first seasoning. I'm gonna do this 4 times, but you need 2 tablespoons of that Blackstone seasoning and conditioning, and then like paper towels and some tongs. You gotta spread it around evenly, thinly, and smoothly, even the sides of the griddle. Now, I'm not gonna be able to show you everything I'm doing, but Blackstone has made a great video, which I have watched, and that's what I'm using to reference when I'm doing my own seasoning. I'll leave a link to that in the description box. So if you don't mind, let me get to work seasoning this baby. Okay, I'm now on my second seasoning, and I'm doing a different technique this time, and I think I'm gonna stick with this technique. So when I researched on the internet, there was kind of 2 ways I saw to do it. I went with option 1 the first time, and that was to apply the seasoning when the griddle was extremely hot. The method I'm using now, and I think the one I prefer, is you do a seasoning and then you take the heat all the way down for about 10 minutes, and then you apply the seasoning again all over, thinly, smoothly, and then you crank the heat up and let it burn off. I think I like that method a little better because you get your layer of seasoning down on the griddle thinly and smoothly. It's easy to do it that way, and then when it burns off, I think it's going to burn off more evenly. So that's what we're doing right now. I've got the second season burning. When it's done smoking, I'm going to turn the heat all the way down, wait about 10 minutes, and then reapply the seasoning for the 3rd round. Just want to take a moment and show you the smoke from the second seasoning, and once I don't see it smoking anymore, that's when I turn these knobs all the way to low, wait 10 minutes or so, and apply another thin, smooth layer of that seasoning. So I think I'll just check back in on you when I'm all done with the seasoning. Yeah, science, polymerization happening. This is a family channel. I couldn't do the exact Breaking Bad quote, but I think those who know, you know. By the way, Winnie is still assisting me. So what's happening right now is this is Blackstone seasoning number 5. I had the small jar of that seasoning. It worked out perfectly for 5 seasonings of the grill, and I think it's looking pretty good. But there's one more step I saw on the internet, and that is to do onions as part of your seasoning, your first seasoning. So I have some onions and some avocado oil, and what we're going to do is when this is done, we'll turn it to low heat and we'll saute up those onions. So this whole process does take a while, especially when you do it the way I preferred, which was apply the seasoning at low heat, turn it up to high heat so that the polymerization occurs, and then turn it back down low and wait for it to cool off, and then apply the seasoning again. So that took a while, but I think I ended up with a very nice seasoning on this Blackstone. All right, the onions are on. The last step is underway. Apparently there's sodium in onions that's good for the polymerization. I don't know. I'm not Mr. White or Heisenberg. I'm just doing what they do on the internet. All right, we're gonna call that 100% seasoned. We're gonna start dinner here in a little bit, and it will be a bit of an unconventional first dinner for a griddle, but I'll explain why. First dinner on the Blackstone Griddle will be salmon. We're going to season it with magic salmon seasoning, not my usual, but it's good in a pinch. We're going to have some asparagus and zucchini. We're going to marinate it inside of this Ziploc We're gonna use some avocado oil and sea salt and black pepper, and then just some instant mashed potatoes. First thing is first, let's use the bottle opener. All right, looking pretty good. Now, the reason why I chose salmon as the first meal is because Nikki and I love salmon, but after the dinner, Nikki is not so fond of the kitchen and the house smelling like salmon. So, with the Blackstone being outdoors, we won't have that issue anymore. Voila! There's the finished product. I've already pre-apologized and told Nikki I will get better, but we'll see how it is after we have it. Bon appetit! Okay, all done with dinner. One of our favorite meals that we make, the salmon. How was it on the griddle, Nikki? What do you think? How'd I do?
You did great, honestly. I mean, I would give you like a truthful review, Rick, but I really would. But I'm telling you, this is really, really good. Like, you got the crispiness, like a nice crispy edge on the top,
like
on the
sear, huh?
bottom. Yes, and like I had like 4 bites that were like perfect. Like, chef's kiss, perfect bites where it was like crispy on the top and the bottom, and it just... Oh, it was so good. You did a great job. And the veggies were really, really good too. Like, I have like mayonnaise. Normally I have mayonnaise with my asparagus, and I was like, I don't even need mayonnaise this time. So it was really good. You did a good
for
job.
our first try, you give me a B, an A?
A B plus, A minus.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
A couple things. I learned some lessons now too.
Okay.
Okay, my first steps to becoming a griddle master have been taken. I'm pretty pleased with the review Nikki gave me. I did learn a couple lessons. I think, so when I normally make the salmon, I would broil it. I would brush on the oil, then season. I didn't brush on oil this time, I just seasoned it because I figured I'm setting it in oil anyway. I would still, in the future, brush on the oil, then season it. And then the second lesson I learned for tonight for the salmon is I think I started it with too high of a heat. I was going like medium high and probably should have gone just medium or maybe just a tad below medium. I think I still would have gotten a good sear had I done it that way as well, because the sear is Nikki's favorite part. But so those 2 lessons learned. Next time the salmon will be even better. So I do plan for this to be my 2024 hobby, becoming a griddle master. We're going to be doing all types of recipes. We're going to learn together. It's going to be a journey, you and I. So if you don't mind, click that subscribe button on your way out. And life is not always a thrill, but it is an adventure. We'll see you next time.